You know, I never thought I'd be saying anything interesting about Sonic Origins, but here we are. Sonic Origins has recently released to the public, and it is very interesting, to say the least. Despite the fact that it is basically a collection of 4 of Sonic's iconic classic games, this game has had its fair share of controversy, whether it's the really weird and bizarre DLC, or the fact that this game does not have a physical copy or physical collector's edition, despite the fact that it's celebrating Sonic's birthday. Seriously, why don't we have that? I would have gladly paid you all of my money for that. Or the fact that it seems inferior to Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which, in my opinion, is the best video game collection ever. Not even just for Sonic, just ever. I love this game, dude. But by far the most bizarre thing for me is the choices they made for the music. For those of you who don't know, a lot of the contract in the original Sonic 3 was influenced and even made by Michael Jackson. And due to some copyright issues, they weren't able to get it into Sonic Origins. So they had Jun Sonoy, the lead man for Crash 48, who's made some of the most iconic Sonic music ever, stepped in and provided replacements for Carnival Night, Ice Cap, Launch Base, the Supersonic theme, and a couple of other little oddities that Michael Jackson had his hand in. And today I just want to talk about the music because despite the fact that overall I do think it's inferior to the original version, you may be surprised about what I have to say about some of these. But you gotta stick around to the end of the video if you want to know what I mean when I say that. That's right, I'm holding you hostage. You must watch to the end of the video, and you have to like and subscribe because I'm almost at 300 subscribers. You bumco! Now that we got the plug out the way, I'm mainly going to be talking about Carnival Night, Ice Cap Zone, Launch Base Zone, and the Supersonic theme. I'm going to combine all the acts into kind of one segment just for the sake of my sanity, besides the kind of all... I'll get into why I'm doing that later. Just rock with me, please. Now, I will admit I'm going to have a bias because I love the original versions. If you watch my classic Sonic music tier list, you'll know that I ranked all 3 of these songs very highly. 2 of them in the highest ranking I possibly had on that tier list. So obviously I'm going to have a bit of, you know, nostalgia for these songs. But I'm going to do my best to divorce myself for them, and I'm going to try not to compare it too much. I'm not gonna lie, there's gonna be some comparison, but I'm gonna try to look at the songs as is so we can figure out why some of this doesn't work and why some of it does work. Also, for some reason, the sound test versions of this song are muffled and muted, and I wasn't able to find a clean copy over on YouTube, so I apologize if the quality of the songs you're gonna hear in the background are kind of trash, but that's the best I could do. You're gonna have to deal with it until someone uploads a better copy. First off, let's talk about Carnival Night Zone, which you can tell by the name, it's supposed to be this kind of carnival. It's always been kind of the weird stage at Sonic 3, because like, why is there like a circus in the middle of this island that doesn't have anybody there? But it also brings a little bit of intrigue, but it's, I don't know, it's the one that kind of stood out the most as being odd. Now, the original took the classic, you know, circus music that we all know and kind of did a remix of it, made it a lot more funky, a lot more bouncy. And it worked. It worked. I liked it. I liked it a lot. However, when I listen to this version, it's very different. Now, I'm very aware that Mr. Crush 40 used the prototype version of the songs, but they're prototypes for a reason. It's not that good. The main reason I have with the Origins version of this song is the simple fact that it's just not vibrant or bouncy, mainly in the instrumentation. When you listen to carnival music, a lot of it is very high energy. Some of them are waltzes, others are marches, but they all have that same in common, that it's driving, it's bright, it's vibrant in its tone, in its instrumentation, if you will. It usually rings, it screams, it's like childhood wonder, if you will, because it's supposed to replicate what a circus or a carnival represents, which is usually the noise, the chaos of the rides and the games and the creepy clown people. Heck, when I say carnival music, you think of that circus music. Everybody knows it. The original version of Carnival Night uses it as a bass. I mean, it's a shame because, I mean, the melody is there. Like, the melody itself is not that bad, but again, it's a prototype for a reason. And the reason being is that it doesn't necessarily fit. Like, you know what it feels like? It feels like Sonic 3D Blast. It feels like it should be the Spring Stadium level in Sonic 3D Blast. That's exactly what it sounds like. I just put it together. Oh my goodness. That's exactly what it sounds like. But honestly, I don't think that even compares to what they did to my baby Ice Cap Zone. Like, Ice Cap legit is the worst one because it doesn't fit the theming at all. This is when using the prototype was a misstep. You were better off trying to make your own. The original version was kind of in this minor key, and it kind of emphasized the fact that this was a barren wasteland. And while he's finding fun and he's finding his own drive, because it still has that undeniable drive and that spirit that Sonic has, it's still a barren wasteland at the end of the day. But the new version makes it seem like it's a fun, happy resort, which the level is not that. It's not like that at all. Like, the fact that the overall tonality of the song is major instead of like minor, like in the original, just changes the feel entirely. And it's like, if you like that, that's super cool. Pun completely intended. But to me, it misses the point of what the level is supposed to be. It's a shame because isolated from the level, this song is not that bad. It's actually kind of good. Like, I imagine if we were in like Sonic Mania and they made a new level and it was like a ski resort kind of level, or like, you know, with ticket booths and like, you know, the gates being enemies and like had extensive snowboarding levels and things like that. This would be the music that would fit that. I think this music would fit a lot better in that kind of setting. But in this mountainous area, trying to, you know, traverse the mountains and the caves of Ice Cap, like, you need something a little more eerie, something a little more, you know, minor, something to really emphasize the fact that this is the void of life. And the second act is such a shame because in the Origins version, they just kind of change up the instrumentation to make it better. And granted, I think it's a better version than the first act, but it's nothing compared to the original, because in the original, they further emphasized that, you know, hopelessness, that kind of idea of being in a wasteland, like a winter wasteland kind of thing. They emphasize that by getting rid of the percussion and focusing more on the melodies and the harmonies and letting it speak for itself. The driving force is actually the motif that's underneath it all. There's not much percussion behind it, and that was very cool. That was very interesting to me. I don't know, man. It's disappointing to hear it. It doesn't fit at all, in my opinion. But then we have Launch Base Zone, and I actually really like it. The grooviness and the Latin feel of the original will always have a place in my heart. It just does. That's just nostalgia. It's always gonna be on top for me. But I gotta be honest, this is a good replacement, in my opinion. Like, with the others, I feel like this is a little too bright. It sounds a little too Sonic 3D Blast-y to me, if I'm being honest. But for what it is, it fits. I would say it's a little too bright and it doesn't really fit what happens in the game story-wise, but did the original really fit that well either? Let's be honest, it really didn't. Like, in the first act, the melody is cool, it's grand, it's verbose, it feels like a rocket launch. It feels like something is about to launch, like something is going to the sky and we're about to take our first step on the moon or whatever. But because it's a little too bright, it loses some of the tension, I guess you could say. I just feel like if they changed up the instruments, maybe rearranged the bridge a bit, it would probably be a suitable replacement. And the second act is just groovy, man. It reminds me of Press Garden. That's the level. It reminds me of Press Garden, where the first one is just really like, and then the second act just like, it just grooves and it just feels good and just makes you want to bob your head to it. This is what Act 2 is to me. But again, it loses some of that because the instrumentation and the fact that it sounds like it should be in Sonic 3D Blast. I cannot overemphasize enough that this is a Sonic 3D Blast soundtrack, dude. I don't know, like, if I kind of have more ideas, like maybe if instead of having runs that go upward, if they have runs that go down, like do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, like something like that, or maybe if they modulate it to a minor key to kind of help emphasize that feeling of I have to hurry up because we're not in a fun, awe-inspiring land. This man's about to kill everybody. Like, maybe it would help, but it's catchy. I'd put it on my playlist. I don't know what to tell you, man. Then lastly, we have the Supersonic theme. The one that, I ain't gonna lie, I've been hearing a lot of people on Twitter be mad about it. And it's like, why? Like, it's cool. It's good. It's fine. Like, again, Sonic 3D Blast kind of vibes. It's really the instrumentation. The instrumentation is just, it's a big misstep, dude. Like, for Pete's sake, I know Michael Jackson owns the songs, but does he own the instruments too? And the fact that it sounds so muffled just doesn't help its case at all. It's missing that kind of bass to it. I think that's the word I'm looking for. This kind of bass. It's a shame because the Supersonic theme is cool. I mean, it's different from the original one, but to be fair, the original one was just the invincibility theme over and over. I do appreciate that they differentiated it. Oh, crap. I'm glad they made it different. Let's just, this language is hard, dude. Yeah, but overall, C+. While Launch Base Zone and Supersonic are pretty good, I cannot deny that the instrumentation and the fact that it's missing some of that bass just makes it seem overall weaker. I felt like if they relied less on the prototypes and just focused more on figuring out what fits, and if the prototype fit, that's cool, but if not, make something else. If they did something like that, I feel like this would be a lot better. But as it is, it's just disappointing, man. I can't even lie to you. And it's a shame because I do think the prototype versions should be in the game, but I think it should be more of an option, if you will. Like in the sound test version, we could be like, you know, part of the collection. Like, hey, you can also listen to these never before heard tracks, even though we've definitely heard it before because the internet. But, you know, you can have that available, you can have it ready for you, and, you know, all that good stuff. But instead, it feels, I don't know, it just kind of rings hollow, like the music. Man, I'm such a king with conclusions, man. Thank you, Lord. But hey, that's just my thoughts about the Sonic Origins soundtrack. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you guys got Sonic Origins, if you're enjoying it, or if you don't like it. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys. And if you want to see what I have to say about the classic Sonic music, then click right here. I did a whole tier list on Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, and even Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So that's going to be fun. Or you can click right here if you want to see me talk about Sonic Frontiers. But until then, I'm the Loveless Gamer, and I still don't have a tagline. So, peace out.